I bought a $750 million abandoned Bugatti hybrid flying super yacht for just $25,000 and somehow brought it back to life. That sentence still sounds unreal when I say it out loud. But sometimes the strangest opportunities appear where nobody else is looking. This story started 2 years ago at a quiet coastal marina that most people had forgotten about. The harbor used to be busy decades ago, when private yachts and experimental vessels were tested there. But over time, the shipyards closed, investors disappeared, and many of the projects were simply abandoned. Rusting hulls sat tied to empty docks. Broken prototypes gathered dust in hangars, and hidden among those forgotten projects was something unbelievable. A massive vessel that looked like it belonged in the future. I first noticed it while walking along the outer pier. At the far end of the harbor sat a strange shape under a weather-stained tarp. It was much larger than the fishing boats around it. Sleek curves stretched across the hull, and strange wing-like structures extended from the sides. Even under layers of dust and salt stains, the design looked incredible. When the wind lifted part of the tarp, I saw a small metal badge near the bow. It had a name engraved on it. Bugatti. At first I thought it had to be fake. Everyone knows Bugatti for hypercars like the Bugatti Chiron, not giant experimental yachts. But as I got closer, I realized this thing wasn't ordinary. Later research would confirm what I had accidentally discovered. Years earlier, a group of investors had funded an experimental concept vessel known as the Bugatti Hybrid Flying Superyacht. It was supposed to combine cutting-edge marine engineering with luxury design inspired by Bugatti's hypercars. The concept included hydrofoil wings that could lift the hull partially out of the water, hybrid turbine engines, autonomous navigation systems, and interior luxury that rivaled the most expensive yachts ever built. The estimated project value? $750 million. But something had gone wrong during development. Funding collapsed. The investors disappeared. The prototype was left unfinished and eventually forgotten in the harbor. That's how it ended up sitting there, rotting slowly in the ocean air. For most people, it looked like scrap metal. For me, it looked like potential. So I started asking questions. The harbor authority told me the vessel had technically been abandoned after years of unpaid storage and maintenance fees, which meant it was eligible for liquidation. In simple terms, the marina just wanted it gone. I expected the price to be high. But when the clerk showed me the paperwork, I almost laughed. $25,000. That wasn't even the price of a used family car. Of course, there was a reason. The vessel was incomplete. Many systems didn't work, and nobody knew if the experimental technology inside could ever function. But something about the project fascinated me. So, after a long night of thinking about it, I bought it. The moment the paperwork was signed, the reality set in. I now owned a gigantic experimental super yacht prototype. And it barely worked. The first inspection revealed just how massive the challenge would be. The hull structure was surprisingly intact, but the interior systems were a mess. Cables hung from open panels. The hybrid turbine engines had been partially removed. The hydrofoil wings were locked in place and covered with corrosion. Even the bridge electronics were dark. Bringing this machine back to life would require months of work, maybe years. But step by step, the restoration began. The first priority was cleaning. We removed thousands of pounds of debris, rust flakes, and damaged materials from inside the hull. Next came structural inspection. Marine engineers helped confirm that the carbon-reinforced frame was still strong. That was the first big victory. If the frame had failed, the entire project would have been impossible. Then came the hardest part, the propulsion system. The original hybrid turbines were missing critical components, so we spent months tracking down compatible replacements and rebuilding the system piece by piece. At the same time, electrical engineers rewired large sections of the yacht's power network. Slowly, lights began turning on again. Displays flickered back to life. Navigation screens rebooted for the first time in years. But the real moment of truth came with the hydrofoil system. Those wing-like structures were designed to lift the hull partially above the water at high speed, reducing drag and allowing incredible efficiency. If they didn't work, the entire flying yacht concept would fail. After weeks of repairs, we scheduled a small harbor test. The turbines started. The vessel eased away from the dock. At first, nothing unusual happened, just a large yacht moving slowly across the water. But as the engines pushed harder, something incredible happened. The hydrofoil wings engaged, water rushed beneath them, and the massive hull began to rise, not completely into the air, but just enough to reduce drag exactly as the designers intended. The vessel was working. The abandoned prototype that had been rusting in the harbor for years had finally moved under its own power again. News spread quickly after that test run. People couldn't believe the story. A forgotten $750 million experimental superyacht, purchased for only $25,000 and restored piece by piece. Of course, the yacht still isn't perfect. Many systems still need upgrades. The interior luxury sections remain unfinished. But the impossible part has already happened. The machine lives again. And every time I see the hydrofoil wings lifting the hull above the water, I remember the dusty tarp at the end of the harbor, where everyone else saw a failed project. But I saw something waiting for a second chance.